Good morning. This is Mr. Sadler coming to you live from the internet. Hopefully it is. On Monday, February 9th. Whoops, goodness gracious. February 9th, 2015. Alright, so for the class, please play along, have fun. If you get called on, please be brave and try and answer. If you don't know, that's okay. For the supply teacher, please hit pause when necessary, and yeah, have fun with this. Okay. All right. So today's lesson is called intersection of a line and a curve. Okay. So what we'll be doing in here, this is just algebra again. So this is going to be, I'm going to say in this section, we will be finding the intersection points of a curve and a line. We have three possibilities. By the way, to the supply teacher, feel free and hit pause if I'm going too quickly. So if a child in the class raises their hand and says, hold on, slow down, or go back, feel free to hit pause, because again, I have no reference point for where the class is. Okay, speaking of going too quickly, I'm going to write down the note here very fast and we'll do some algebra. Okay, I want to give you guys a little bit of chance to work today. So the three possibilities are, part A is two intersections. Okay, so what that looks like, whoops, I don't know why that did that. Two intersections look something like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is there's a parabola, which is the red line, and then we have a line which is going to be the black line. So it could actually hit twice. Think of this a lot like the roots. Okay, and we talked about this a little bit last week, right? We are going to be solving this just like we did the quadratic versions a while back there. So option B is going to be one intersection, and we're going to call this a tangent. Okay, so that's where the graph's just going to nick the side there. Okay, and that's okay. We have no issue with that. And finally, number C, if we can fit this all on the same page, and oh, look at that, we can. Letter C is going to be called no intersections. So what this is going to look like is, if you want a reference that is going to be positive in the square root, positive in the root. This looks like a 0 in the root, and that looks like a negative in the root. When I say the root, I mean quad formula. B squared, where's my squared button? Minus 4ac. So if b squared minus 4ac is a positive number, that means it's going to look something like this with two answers. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, it's going to look something like this. If b squared minus 4ac is a negative, it's going to look something like this. Alright? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do two examples here, and then we will, I'm going to stop and give you guys some time to work if you need to. As I said, feel free to answer along when I ask you. I'm going to try and be brave. I'm doing this from memory, from where the class should sit, so if I call on somebody wrong or I mispronounce your name or something, I apologize. It's late at night on Sunday, so I'm trying to do this. So here we go. I'm going to say, before I start the lesson, I'm going to say mathematically, this is exactly like finding the number of roots in a parabola. Algebraically, just set one side of the equation equal to 0 and then solve for x. Now the nice thing about typing is that it took me about 5 seconds to do that. It'll take you about 5 minutes to print it. So take your time and print. Supply teacher, if you need to hit pause so everyone can get that, that'd be great. Otherwise, here we go. Alright, example 1. It says find the intersection points of y equals 3x squared minus 2x minus 1 and y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, so we're going to treat this just like this was in substitution from grade 10. So if you remember how substitution worked, you would set the equations equal to each other and solve. So we're going to say, since y is equal to y, we can solve. So I'm just going to set here 3x squared minus 2x minus 1 equal to 2x plus 3. Alright, now I'm going to start with a person at random, which is going to be Summer. We'll start with you since you're in the middle of the class. Summer, when I have a quadratic, what do I have to do before I can solve it? Okay, great, perfect. We're going to have to make it equal 0. Okay, so that should be 3x squared minus 2x minus 2x and minus 1 minus 3 equals 0. And maybe I'll actually highlight the things that changed if you need me to. Look at the power of the internet there. Okay, so those two yellow characters there, what they actually are, and I'll move this down so you guys can see maybe, what those two yellow characters are, they happen to be what I moved across, right? So the positive 2x on the right became negative 2x on the left, and positive 3x on the right became negative 3 on the left. Okay, great. Who are we going to pick on next? Let's pick on Tristan. You're up. Tristan, can you neaten this up, please? Now, before you say you can't, that you were just stretching, I know you weren't. It's okay, so please volunteer. Okay, good. 3x squared. Excellent. Minus 4x. And minus 4 equals 0. Wonderful. Okay, so we have two options to solve this. Liam, can you tell the class what the two options are? Okay, good. Factoring and quadratic formula. I'm going to factor. If you choose the quadratic formula, go ahead, but this will be a lot easier. I'm going to pick on Jennifer right now. Jennifer, can you tell me the m and the a for this question? M is going to be? Good, negative 12. And a is going to be? Good, negative 4. Jennifer, you're not off the hook yet. What are the two numbers that multiply to negative 12 and add to negative 4? What do you mean you can't find them and you're not going to answer? No, I'm just kidding. Negative 6 and 2. I know you're the best factor in the class, Jennifer. Negative 6 and positive 2. Great. All right, Alana Lawrence, what do I do, please, with the those two numbers? 3x squared, good. Minus 6x, good. Plus 2x, good. Minus 4 equals 0. All right, Leo, what do we do next on the left-hand side? 3x bracket x minus 2 plus 2 bracket x minus 2 equals 0. Great. Okay, Mr. Romanowicz, if you can finish this one off, please. X minus 2, good. 3x plus 2, good, equals 0. Okay, so the reason we factored that out is that I actually want to do the split apart thing like this. So I'm going to say on the left-hand side, x minus 2 equals 0, 3x plus 2 equals 0. So this should turn into x equals 2. I might even highlight that in yellow. I love this highlighter. And on the right, we're going to say x equals negative 2/3. Okay, I'm going to slow down here for a second, make sure all is good. Okay. So what we just did there is we just, and again, I'm going to pick on some of the students I've talked before. If things get tricky for the rest of the class, if you can just encourage them gently to finish this. Okay. So now we've actually found the 2x values. So if going back to my chart up here, this is going to be like scenario number 1. So this would be like x is equal to negative 2/3. This is going to be like x is equal to 2. Okay, so I'm going to have 2 points of intersection. Sorry, I was just hoping I could keep all this on one page. Maybe I can't. No, sorry, wrong man. I know, I don't have me. I'll worry about that later. Okay, so now I have my two x's, so I'm going to say there will be two solutions. To get the y values, sub into y equals 2x plus 3. Now, you could have subbed into the second equation as well, okay, but this one is significantly easier to sub into because it's not a quadratic, okay? So on the left-hand side, whoops, sorry about that, but I had to go down. If you're not caught up, please somebody raise their hand and get the teacher to hit pause. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to sub it into y. Oops, I'll get rid of the bold. Oh goodness, what are we doing here? Y equals 2 times 2 plus 3. And on the right, we're going to have y equals 2 times negative 2/3 plus 3. So I think that's the same way as we did substitution last year. So on the left, we're going to have y equals 7. On the right, we're going to have y equals 5/3. The question was how to get 5/3. So what I did, and I should probably show it, negative 4/3 plus 9/3. So y is equal to 5/3. And there's a nice yellow marker again. Oops. And there's a nice yellow marker again too. So I'm going to say then, therefore, the POI is 2,7 and negative 2/3, 5/3. Okay, so there happens to be two answers right here. Okay, so this is the time that if there's a question, raise your hand, and Liam will hopefully tell you the answer. All right, good. Okay. So let's move on to example 4. Ooh, example 2. Here we go. Find the intersection points of 2x plus y minus 4 equals 0 and 4x squared minus y squared equals 16. Okay, so for my solution, this one looks awful. Okay, if you don't mind me using the word awful and math together, this one looks hideous. This is a messy looking equation, and this is a messy looking equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one solution to isolate one variable. To sub into the other equation. Now, you did this a lot in grade 10 at the beginning of the year. Okay, now I know none of you wrote your final exams, you've forgotten all about this, but that's okay. So if you look at this, probably this equation is going to be out. Can I get a brave person named, I don't know who it's going to be, Nicole maybe? Nicole, why do you think this one would be out for isolating a variable? Yeah, good. They're both squared, and that looks yucky. All right, I'd like to take square roots and stuff. You always have two roots, the plus or minus. So we don't like that. Okay. I'll pick on Marissa. Marissa, if I'm going to isolate this equation, which is what I'm going to have to do, because if I can't use this one, I'm going to use this one. What variable should I choose to isolate? X, Y, or 4 and Y? Alright, I hope you said, and I'm confident that you said y, okay, because, so we're going to rewrite the first equation as y equals negative 2x plus 4. The way we can do that is very, very quickly move the 2x here to make it negative and move the 4 over there to make it positive. So now we're going to substitute. So it's going to be 4x squared minus negative 2x plus 4 squared equals 16. So if you look what I did there, oops, I replace everywhere I saw a y in the second equation. Actually, I should put that in there. Everywhere I saw a y in the second equation, I'm going to put in a negative 2x plus 4 squared. Now this is where you have to make sure that you're careful. So what's going to happen, I'm going to write that as negative 2x plus 4. Whoops. Negative 2x plus 4 equals 16. And maybe supply teacher hit pause here to make sure that everyone's caught up. Okay, good. So I'm going to call that 4x squared minus 4x squared minus 8x minus 8x plus 16 equals 16. Riley, can you tell the class what exactly I did there? Good. I hope you said I foiled, because that's exactly what I did. Okay, so that's 4x squared minus. Right now, somebody in the back of the class is silently saying, "Could I have moved the negative in first?" Yes, you could have. If you did that, you would only move it into the first bracket here. Okay. Changing the first bracket to 2x minus 4, and that's fine. So I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to do it at the end. And I apologize, I didn't actually pick on more people today. That should be 16x. But I'll be honest, I don't know their names well enough. Sorry about that. Okay, do we look good here? I think we look good. Alright, so let's do some algebra here then. Let's keep going up. 4x squared minus 4x squared is nothing. 16x we have left minus 16 equals 16. Well, this is looking good. We lost our quadratic. That's wonderful. Oops. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. So we're going to change that to 16x equals 32, and then divide by 16 and x equals 2. Now, if something isn't clear there, please raise your hand, and Riley will explain everything to you. Or Liam. Okay, no questions. That's wonderful. Okay, so to finish off now, sub x equals 2 into, I'm definitely going to sub into this equation. You can sub into any one you want, but this is complicated up here at the top. This one is super duper complicated. This one is much nicer. Alright, so I'm going to sub into that one. So I'm going to say y, whoops, y, mouse is everywhere, equals negative 2 times 2 plus 4. Oops, did I make a mistake there? Oh, we're good. Which happens to equal negative 4 plus 4, so y should equal 0. Therefore, whoops, the POI, which is point of intersection, is, oh goodness, sugar. Can we do that? Control Y, please. Oh, good. 2 comma 0. So all this one is sorry to skip ahead. This is like the one intersection right here in the middle, okay, which is fine. I'm not actually going to do one that has no solutions. There'll be one of those in your homework, all right? So try it out right now. The supply teacher will hand out a piece of paper if you need them. If you have brought your textbook, that's wonderful. The questions are going to be, homework is going to be page 198, number 4, 8, 14, 16. And this is, or photocopy from the supply teacher. They are exactly the same thing. One thing I just want to note before we continue here. First of all, thanks for paying attention today. Secondly, on the homework sheet, there's things to say like this. Okay. If you see either of these, either of these, just make them y equals. So, oops. Let's just say y equals. So, for example, number 4a, says f of x equals negative 2x squared minus 5x plus 20, g of x equals 6x minus 1. You're just going to rewrite them as, what that actually means is y equals negative 2x squared minus 5x plus 20, and y equals 6x minus 1. Okay, so what I just did there is I just replaced that and replace f of x and g of x with y. I think it's just number 4. Let's like it. Let me just check. No, it's 4 and 8 and 16 are all like that. Alright, so don't worry about, just ignore f of x and g of x and just rewrite them as y. Okay, thanks for paying attention, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I may have dropped in by now. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. If I can, I'm in. If not, then I'm not. Alright, see you later, guys. See you tomorrow. Oh, I should also mention before I stop, whoops, as I'm recording that, is I'll try and make myself available at lunch, so hang out for a few minutes if you're totally lost on what happened there.